What can I say except you're welcome?
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
No. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Miami the Great. We are back for another Talk It Up Wrestling podcast. We're going to talk about some Monday night. We're going to talk about some plenty rumors. I'm hearing that we could get a Randy Orton heel turn. I think I like that. Do you guys like that? Shouts out to everyone. What's your thoughts about our new coming up of main event Saturday? We have one match already set up. We'll be getting into tonight. The predictions of what happened on Monday. Nikki Bella's back. I think I'll touch on that. The great promo from Becky Lynch. I did like the Becky Lynch promo that I did love. I'm going to try to get some things set up here, guys. Hello, how are you guys doing? We're going to try to get this new background in here, because I want to see how does it look. Let me see. Can I get my new background going here? Right quick, guys. Let's see. Oh, it look. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Shouts out to everyone today. How you guys are doing? We're going to get into a lot of stuff about Talk It Up today. We're going to get to some Monday Night Raw. I might touch on some SmackDown because I've been liking SmackDown a little bit more than Raw, if you ask me. So shouts out to everyone who's coming through. If you're new here, please go down to the link below. Check us out on YouTube. That's Talk It Up Podcast, Talk It Up Wrestling. Put in the search bar, you will see our beautiful coin. Follow me on X. That's Miami the Great 645. You can find me there, or you can find all of us who's on our team on the Island page. That's the Island of DWE. And you can follow my co-host, the Final Boss Baby with 2 B's, 1 Y. Check her out. She has a lot of great takes when we be watching Raw and doing lives on Raw. So thank you guys for stopping by. Go to this beautiful, you see down below, the website that we have that our sponsor W Energy, as you can see right here in the corner. W Energy is one of our supporters for our brand. So please go to their website. They have a lot of great energy drinks, energy sodas, a lot of gummies, milk, everything that you can think of, from powders. They have a lot of merch that if you want to get into and get to buy, you can check those guys out. So go to the website, type in Talk It Up Wrestling. You will get 10% off on everything that they have. That's compliments of us for you supporting us. Thanks for everyone who does support us on the YouTube side. So thank you guys for that. We really love the stuff that you do for us, guys. So shouts out to you guys for coming by, stopping by, and checking us out. Like I say, what are some predictions, some early predictions for your main event Saturday? Because we do have, I think we're going to have 2 title matches. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did see something about Cody Rhodes too, putting his title on the line against Drew McIntyre. So I think if that happens, that's going to be really interesting. Like I say, was hearing stuff about Randy Orton turning heel. I did have a theory when we was in before I get to some of the money stuff. One of my theories was the person that attacked Jacob Fatu was Randy, and some news came out today, and I was like, look, it was like simple, because I think a lot of us are waiting for Randy to turn heel. Just if they do turn heel on Randy, I need a legend killer type of Randy Orton. I think that will be the best Randy Orton if we get that type of Randy Orton. If anyone does remember, that's the Randy Orton that was like the one and only Randy for me that I like. Probably one of the best of the Randy Ortons that we probably got. If you look back at all of the stuff that we did get from Randy Orton back when he was here. So that's one main thing that we did get. But shouts out to everyone that's coming by who came by. Like I say, I will probably talk about some more of SmackDown if you guys want to. But let's get into it, guys. This Monday we got a beautiful battle royal. It was a lot of contenders. Jey Uso and Jimmy was in it. I know a lot of people was like they wish that Jimmy was the winner. I even heard the names LA Knight. Do you feel like the right person won? When this match first was announced, the first thing I said was Jey Uso's winning this match. That's the first thing I said. Because it was this like booking 101. Now, the thing is this. Do I feel like Jay's going to win? No, I don't think he's going to win because, one, I think they're going to put this title on Punk. Because, not just because I don't feel like Jay can carry the company. I think he could do a few more matches with Punk. Because when they was doing the Battle Royal, Punk was saying that he would like to face LA Knight. And I know a lot of people was like to seeing that match from him, from CM Punk. So I know that's one of the matches that a lot of people would like to see and want to see. So I know that's one main thing that everyone wants to see when it comes to Punk and LA Knight. You could maybe get a match between Jimmy. Pretty sure that's what probably a lot of people want to see too. If you think about it, that could be a match that we can look at and look forward for if you look back at it. Because I think a lot of people wanted Jimmy to win this match because Jimmy has not got that chance. And I think that's a part of his story. That's why I did the thumbnail with Jimmy in the background looking at Punk and Jay. I said off the bat that Jimmy was going to cause Jay right off the bat because I was like, that might be the reason why. Now, my only thing is about that is WWE, the booking's been weird. And I know I may gotta do the show because I know Final Boss is a little busy, but I really want to talk about the booking lately. It has not been the type of booking that you would think be this extraordinary booking that we thought we was going to get or see from WWE. I really didn't think that we was going to get some of the matches that we're getting now because, we're getting Punk and Jay. And I know Punk and Jay are close. I know Punk has a lot of respect for Jay. Now, my thing is this, because we still got Elimination Chamber in Chicago. And I was like, well, this can go a couple ways. Even if you let Jay win and Punk lets Jay go over, is Punk the type where he wants to probably win the title in his hometown? Because he's already came in champion in his hometown. We know the classic match between John Cena and John Cena and CM Punk. So I know that's one match that we have seen Punk come in as champion. John was champion. I take that back. John was champion at Money in the Bank, and they came in and he won the title and he went into the crowd. So he has won the title at his hometown. So that's another reason why I was like, well, maybe they're going to put the title on CM Punk, and they're going to make CM Punk come in and win the title. That's what I think they're going to do. My thing is going to be this. How are they going to further this story? Because the story of the day, when they do it, because I think next week is supposed to be main event. I think it's next Saturday. Yeah, it's next Saturday. So my thing is this is how are they going to play out this? This could go a lot of ways. because we have had someone win a title at at their show Saturday night. Because anybody remember Chelsea Green? That's how she became the United States champion. Now theirs has never been a title change. So even if they do Drew and Cody, we're going to come in thinking that Drew's not going to win because they have yet to not make a title change at Saturday Night Main Event. I think they're trying, when it comes to Saturday Night Main Event, I think they're trying to build it, and they're going to probably try to catch us off guard one day, and then go for pull the trigger when you get down to that. So that's what I think they're going to do when you look at Drew in this Cody match. I don't think they're going to pull it yet. I think they're going to wait, and then when they do it, that's when they're going to pull the trigger maybe a long time ago. Now, would it be with Drew? I don't know. Would it be on Cody? I don't know. That's to see later on down the line in the future. Because the reason why I say they're not going to do it yet, because it doesn't seem like it. Now, maybe they may never do it because they might feel like Saturday Night Main Event is not the PLE to crown new champions. Now, when I say champion, I mean by major titles. Now, they might do the mid-card titles. You might see a mid-card title get switched hands, just to test the waters. They might do the mid-card championship first, and then they'll move on to a bigger title. We'll see there. So that's what I think they're going to do when they do this Saturday night. Now, right now, they won't do it. We got to see how they're going to go about things when we get down to all of these matches, what's going to be announced. Because, like I said, we got Jay versus Punk at Saturday Night Main Event. Will it be a good match? It could be. It could be a great match because these two are friends. They know each other. I feel like they could have great chemistry. There is a little history there because I remember Roman telling Jay, well, why you're not coming out doing a promo? Why is Punk doing it? They did that storyline, but it seems like they wiped away with that. That's a thing that I did not like about some of the booking they was doing. Because at first you was doing this, I was thinking storyline where you was about to make Jay maybe become tribal chief, which I feel like they should have did, but they didn't know Seth was going to get injured. But I feel like if they would have stuck with that, they would have had a contingency plan. Even if Punk would have won this number one contender, and Seth would have got hurt, at least you would have still had the story with Jay. That's one. Two, we could have went in Saturday night saying we don't know. That's always been the feeling I think people have had when it came to Jay. Now, yes, I did see the news that Jay has now got the most third highest dislike on YouTube when it comes to WWE YouTube videos. So, and he's got all three. I understand people do not like the man, but my thing is this: he didn't get a good run with the title. It was only 51 days. We all seen the Netflix show where you had Triple H telling Jay, we're about to put a rocket on your back and strap it on your back and make you go to the moon. I think people have yet to see that, but my thing is this, and like I say, the booking's been for me, it has not been great for Monday so far. And I think me and Final Boss has talked about this. One of my favorite stories that's going on right now is the Solo thing. I'm very invested in it. It was Jay and the Jimmy thing, but I'm not no more because this whole thing is like, I don't know where we're going. I don't know how we're going to go about it and where we're going to go about it. Now, are we going to cause dissension between Jimmy and Jay? Maybe. But my thing is this: why put them together? They just got back together. Why are you going to break them apart? because now it's not going to make no sense to me if you're breaking them apart, especially with Solo on the other side of the brand making this team, because the MFTs are maybe one of the groups that I feel like I like. The crowd is getting back behind them. They're giving the Y6 that phrase where people are saying, this is awesome. I did see that chat with them, so they're giving people that. So that's one thing I am seeing from the the MFTs. So this is why another reason I say, well, maybe they're going to do Jimmy and Jay where they might not actually have a feud together, but there'll be some dissension there. Now, how they're going to do this, I don't know. That's the thing about it. I don't know how they're going to do with the whole thing with Jimmy and Jay. Now, are they going to do a match? Everybody doesn't want that no more, because we all know how WrestleMania. The first thing everybody's going to think, well, hey, we knew how WrestleMania went. Is this going to be any better? I'm not saying do that. I feel like y'all should stick with the first story, but now it seems like, and I had called it out with the rating thing, and I guess I'm going to call it out here, is maybe Jimmy will cause Jay. Would that be a heel turn for Jimmy? Maybe, because I thought they was going to do Jay as the heel. Now I don't think they want to do it because they feel like maybe Jay is their biggest baby face. He's selling a lot of merch. They want to keep him face because it seems like Cody's cooling down. I talked to somebody a couple days ago. They was like, they didn't even remember Cody was champ, and I was like, that's crazy. So a lot of people don't remember. Yes, Jay is staying in a lot of stories. I like the way to focus the way they was going with him at first. The thing, I knew they was going to come out there and try to help Roman, cause Roman. I thought it was going to be Jimmy, but it was actually Jay. It made sense. But now we're here because, like I say, they didn't know Seth was going to get injured. So now you got to kind of navigate your way of making this story be very interesting when we talk about what's going to go on with Jimmy and Jay. Because now Roman has told them, I don't want to see y'all until Christmas. So, okay, maybe that's a way he did that to kind of take him out the story for a while, which made sense at the time, for them to just go without doing the whole story and not having to worry about trying to fit Roman back into the story. Because last time we seen Jay, he was like, Roman wasn't going to change, then the rest was history. So now we're here. And I'm like, I feel like, yes, maybe it should have been Jimmy. LA Knight, I don't know, because automatically it probably would have been a great match, but would LA Knight would have won? I don't think so. And if LA Knight would have won, I think the thing is this when it comes to LA Knight, and I think with WWE, and I'm just trying to think as them on a corporate basis, is are they looking at LA Knight as one of a mega stars? What will come off? We can send them out to these signing things where people come and see them. I feel like maybe what is LA Knight a tweener or a babyface? I wouldn't say he's a heel. I think he's either one of those two. So they're looking at it as, well, we'll have to present him. I think if they did give him the title, LA Knight he will be more like they'll probably present him as a face. Here is we got CM Punk and LA Knight. I mean, not LA Knight, but we got CM Punk and Jay Uso facing each other. Yes, CM Punk is a tweener. I will give you that. But I guess Jay is the baby face. And that's okay, because sometimes you do get matches like that. You do get two opponents that are like this, and you get opponents that will come on and fight each other when we see each other. So that is one thing that I do think that is interesting when you think about these two guys. Jay and Jimmy, it's in Salt Lake. I don't see nothing they can do significant and big in Salt Lake City. From what I heard, since the Seth Rollins injury, they was going to do a Roman Reigns War Games where he had a team and Seth had a team. I don't know if that was true because before this injury even happened, the first thing I told our golden boy of DWE was it's going to be the Y6 and MFT. So now we're here. If they was, and maybe they did this battle royal because they knew about Seth. Maybe they did the number one contender because, well, that was way before Seth got hurt. Because you still had Seth Rollins, the number one contender match, and before Seth had got hurt, I was like, well, why they're doing this match again? Because I didn't have no belief that Punk was going to win, unless they was going to make Vision turn on Punk. But from what we heard, Pro Fight Select had put out that Fightful said that this group didn't supposed to break up until a year later, which is 2026. Which, okay, I believe that because that night when they turned on Seth, and I did say it last week on Talk It Up, that made me feel like this group was back at the level of maybe getting to the top part of being that evolution type of team. I don't think when we go a year or two, we're not going to think about the vision. Now, will we think about, I think the topic of us talking about the breakup will maybe come up because I think a lot of people, I think the topic when you talk about the vision will be they broke up too quick. And that's why I say, well, this puts me in a thought process that this is Punk's match to win. The only way Punk will not win this match is either Punk wants to put over Jay, which that'll be another person that put him over, because we know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like John Cena put over Jay once the Royal Rumble, because I was shocked. I was like, when it came down to the last two of that Royal Rumble this year, I automatically said John's winning this thing. But I love the promo that John Cena did cut at the press conference, because back then they was doing the press conference backstage. I did like them saying that it was best for business. You know, he was best for business for winning the chamber. And then we got the classic heel turn. So that's one thing I did like about the whole thing. So my thing is this. I'm thinking about Chicago. I'm thinking about Elimination Chamber. That's where I'm going with this. I'm thinking about Chamber. So that's what makes me say, what direction are they going to go? What direction are they going to pull? Now, can Punk win this title and hold it all the way to Chamber? Yes, but who will he face in Chamber? Because I can't think of the last time someone has defended, not inside the Chamber, but defended the title on the Chamber paper PLE, far as being. Because if he does go into Chamber and defend this title, I think it'll probably be against the Vision. I don't think they're going to hold a LA Knight and Punk match. Now, that's not something that will captivate me. Right now, if it was me and I had to pin, because of where we're at, I'm just going to go based off of where we're at. We already did the Roman stuff, everything, because they already messed that up. And I only way I can think they can fix it is another way, and it just popped in my head, is you have Jimmy come out there and help Jay. But you do it the right way, where Jay's like, okay, we can build up this thing to be maybe Bloodline S, but we're doing it behind Jay. Something that will catch me off guard because I wouldn't see that coming. And we know that's something that Triple H loves doing. He loves doing things where it comes off where he tries to make it be shocking, give you that shock value and things like that. And another thing too, because you got them running around. Forgive me, I have to take a drink. Another thing too, if you don't want to turn Jimmy heel, even though Solo and them has not brung up Jimmy or Jay, you can maybe bring Solo and maybe interfere in the match and let Punk win and kind of give us that feeling of where we're gonna go with the Solo thing and Punk, because maybe they'll look at Punk and just no, don't touch him. And Punk be looking like it sort of like a Shield type of S feeling. I would say, if y'all understand what I'm saying, I think you can do that with them if you wanted to. I think that's a way you can go, or it just might come straight down the line, guys. It might just be 1, 2, 3. That's it, and Punk wins. It could be just that. It could be just a great match. I'll say a good 20, 30-minute match where you get from Punk and Jay. I'm pretty sure this might be the main event for main event Saturday. Cause unless they're gonna do the Drew and Cody match, I don't suspect no type of big surprises here. Cause I'm pretty sure Roman's not gonna show up because it's so late. And I'm thinking about the area. Now, do they want to probably get that big pop in Salt Lake? Maybe so, because you think about Salt Lake, if you're doing something big, they'll probably want you back again. So I don't know if WWE is going to look at that as this time to give them a chance to pop it off. Now, I don't think that this Saturday night main event, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going to go to some of the comments, because I see I have some of the comments, but I think it's a lot of them are just reposts final bosses in the chat. But and I'll read them real quick before we get back down to deep diving into this Jay and Punk, because like I say, this might be the grandest thing of the topic of the day, because I think a lot of people was upset because I'm not gonna lie, and you kind of see people going around saying push Jimmy, but I think that's a part of the story. I think that's a part of what they're trying to tell us and what they are trying to do with Jimmy. They're trying to see, let's do this and see what the crowd get behind Jimmy, like most people get behind other superstars. They're trying to test the water, which is okay. I'm good with that. I'm fine with just trying to test this out and see what you want to do with Jimmy. And it's working. So that's one way I think you can do it. Let's put up some comments. You got Final Balls. I guess she likes my shade, so appreciate you, Final Balls. Bob Marley. She said Bob Marley. Let's see. He said, I'm sorry I'm late. Dude, glad to see you. You're never late, Mike. You're never late. Long as you're here, you're always on time. So don't never say you're late, man. Thanks, Greg, for reposting the live. So appreciate you for doing that. But like I said, let's get back into this topic of Punk and Jimmy. What are some things that y'all think could go the way this could go? Because what we're at now, and this is why I was saying some of the booking has not been the best top tier booking. We all been hearing the rumors about the AI rumors. I did get information from my fellow brothers from another mother from overseas, over the other side of the podcast, Rest and Collected, that's on now live. they were saying that they just using it for data. And I was like, okay, if that's the case, cool. But if you are using it, I feel like you're taking away from the people that are doing the actual writing, going to school for writing, and coming up with content creative things, storylines. But if you're doing this the right way, I would just really just do a one-on-one and have Punk win. I would not have no one turn. Now I would not be surprised if LA Knight causes Jay. Because remember, Jay and LA Knight does have a history of going against each other, having a little, I would guess, beef. And you can maybe weave that into this match where LA Knight causes Jay. Jay causes LA Knight, and they kind of go back and forth, and then maybe you do LA Knight and you do LA Knight and you do Jay Uso. So that's the thing. That might be another way they can maybe do this if you think about it. Because they love, you know how much they love doing the feuds where if someone interferes, the people go back and forth where you got these two guys facing each other. Sooner or later they'll set up a match. But we got LA Knight and we got the Jay Uso. Well, I know most of the majority of the time it was tag team match. I think one time we got the solo match between those two, no pun intended. Shouts out to Solo. But I think we got that match too, where those two guys face each other. I think back when Jay was the United States champ, if I'm not mistaken, that's what we had got with those two. So it's just, I don't know. I think you can do a little bit more with Punk, because if they would have kept doing the Roman thing with Jay, the first one where they was making, well, for me, they was making me feel like he was next in line. He was might going to be the next tribal chief. I would have probably said, okay, let's try it on Jay again and let's see what we can do with it. Especially now with Roman being, I mean not Roman, but Seth being hurt. I was thinking, well, maybe let's see now. You could have said, hey, let's see what we can do with Jay now. And maybe you could have built the story where you can do this whole thing where Jay has to start a group. Because like I say, you got Solo over there basically doing this stuff with his team. Maybe you could do this stuff with Jay's team. And that's how you can make it come up with Jay. So that's something. Why my background is going? But that's something they can do. Let me get my background wrong. I don't know why my background disappeared. Look at that. How see that? My background. I guess my background don't like me. But that's something that I think they should do. Test the waters. It's a lot of different ways they can go with this. When I think about some storylines they can do, I just don't know, because my first thoughts and reactions are going to be always, where can we go next when we do this? Where is the next motivation of where we go when we think about these two teams? If they're going to put Jay in a team. Now, I don't want Jay and Jimmy to break up. I don't want Jay and Jimmy to be in a feud, because one, you just put them together. Two, it doesn't make sense as a tag team, because I thought you was going to do something with this tag team division, which we'll definitely get into what happened this Monday when it came down to the Raw tag team titles. So that's one thing I did notice too about the Raw tag team titles. So that's something that I think they should do, should test and look into. I think I did send the link to you, Final Boss. Let's see. And I'm going to get to some more comments here for minutes. I don't know why StreamYard reset my color, but it's all good because guess what? I'm going. I'm going to put it back how it was. If it goes back how it was. There we go. I like it like that. Anyway, so we back. We back. I don't know why I did that, guys. But yeah, I think that's one thing we definitely going to have to look into when we get into it. Now, another thing too, Seth Rollins was stripped from the World Heavyweight title. We all know because he was injured. From what we're hearing, he'll be out. He did get surgery. He did post on his YouTube that his surgery went well. He got arm surgery. I know he will be probably back quicker than he normally bees because that's how Seth rolls. Because we know Seth doesn't play around when it gets down to coming back. Now, I don't want him to come back too early where it can maybe cost him when they when will cost him his career because it seems like every time he comes back, either he's coming back a little too quick or he's coming back a little too fast or things like that. So I don't want him to come back too quick and it shortens his career even more. But I did like the promo, and that's what Nate's topic I want to talk about real quick. The promo of Becky that she cut on Paul, the Paul Heyman and Becky promo. And Fun Boss made one. So and shouts out to, for saying that. But man, Becky, and I know a lot. I seen a lot of people on IG was saying, I mean not IG, but X saying that they don't want to see a babyface Seth. Now I don't think Seth, even if he does come back, I don't think he'll be a full babyface. They might bring him back as a tweener. Now I don't mind. It'll be interesting to see where they're going to go with this because now this team has turned on Seth. Will and this is what makes me think that guaranteed now they might make Breaker win the title at Mania, and Seth will come back either at Mania or the next PLE because I did see that Money in the Bank will be in New Orleans, but it'll be in September. So something's getting swapped around. I know a lot of PLEs are getting switched. They're not going to be the same as we got this year. So whatever will be after Mania, which I don't know, we don't know yet. So whatever PLE they're going to decide to do, will he come back then? Because maybe they'll have Breaker take on someone else, and maybe Seth will come back there. It depends on which PLE they do. Let me read a couple mics. One he said, yeah. He said Dave jumped the gun per usual, just data tracking past story and matches. I guess he's talking about Dave Messer. Let's see. And then he said, we are gonna ride that Twitter roll with her and her promo, heel wrestlers, but face promo calling out. Yeah, and I did notice that too. But I think she was, and this is the thing. Final Boss had a great point when we was talking about it a couple of days ago when we was talking about this promo because she was like one of the people who really liked this promo a lot from Becky Lynch, and she was like, hey, this is a great promo from Becky. I liked the promo that she cut on Paul, and she was like, it adds a new twist to Becky with the story of using Punk, and I was like, yeah, it does. I do like it. When it comes down to Becky Lynch, so I did like the promo, but it did make me feel like, well, when Seth comes back, maybe he is going to become heel. I mean, become face. I mean, so that's something that I'm looking into. But I think they're going to probably maybe do a tweener type of S with Seth. Now after this, I think Seth doesn't need a group ever again, unless he retires. When he comes down to retire, 'cause I think that's when Triple H kind of had Evolution. I kind of say he still had a little more time left, but I feel like if you're going to do a group, wait till almost Seth is almost done. If you're going to do one with him, that's just my take. Cause I think this will be the one. Cause from what I read, and I think I did say this on a talk it up, was this might have been the shortest group run he had with a group. So that's something that I'm really interested on how people are going to judge this group later on down the line, because I know a lot of people are probably, like I say, are just going to just think of the breakup of this breakup. Now, yes, we didn't know that he was injured. They probably didn't know how long he was going to be out, so they couldn't keep the title hostage, and so they had to pull the trigger. I don't think this is going to affect Russell Reed and Braun Breaker at all. I think they're still both amazing talents. They're both amazing wrestlers. Right, like I say, I love the promo where Adam Pierce told Paul to say please, and he said no, they're still not going to be in the match. I did like that part of these promo from Pierce and Breaker. I did like that. It was one of the best parts I liked about this whole thing when we was looking at the promo from Paul Heyman and Becky. I mean, I'm not Paul Heyman and Becky, but Braun Breaker and them. So I feel like they're going to still have a future. It's just the thing about it. I think they're going to be feuding with Seth. Now, this is Triple H. I think Seth is going to kind of maybe Triple H might book Seth as a kind of Triple H-S. Remember, I don't know if anybody remembers when Triple H came back and he wanted revenge on Shawn Michaels of the turn of when, because him and Shawn have broke up so many times, or they could do a booking where how Triple H came back to get his revenge on Batista, Randy when they was back in Evolution. But like I say, I'm not going to be interested in this because the group broke up so quick. I think that's what people are going to kind of not go for. People are not going to be interested into this because they're going to be like, well, hey, this group broke up so quick. We're not going to be invested. It's a lot of things now that we're not getting invested to because these stories are not just there anymore. Yes, I know we don't got Roman there all the time. I know we're probably never going to see Rock again. Like I say, the best feud for me right now, and I keep saying it, is Solo. I'm pretty sure, and this is why I say it could probably be Punk, because they're going to probably test the waters with LA Knight, see how's the match now, because they could do a match with Punk, because like I say, I do have Punk winning, and they could probably do a match with Punk and LA Knight, and maybe the Vision causes Punk. I mean not Punk, but LA Knight, just like they'll probably cause Jay the match at Saturday Night Main Event. So that might be the story where maybe they could probably try to make it be where they're trying to get Jay and LA Knight on the same page. Maybe Jimmy will be that probably the glue to that because he's been trying to do that lately. We'll probably go back to that storyline. They could do it that way too, or like I say, it could just be a plain match where these two have it one-on-one, and boom. So that's why when I looked at this, and I'm going to go back to the Becky promo, that's why when I looked at this and I was like, Becky, I love the way she was calling Paul a weasel. She did say she was wondering when Seth was suspecting the turn. And she said, what took you so long? I did like that. That made me say, oh, so Seth, and it makes sense because yes, Seth is the architect. Seth is the mastermind. I remember he did the promo where he was like, he's always a couple of steps ahead of people. So it did make sense. So I was like, oh, this makes sense by her cutting this promo on Paul. So I did like that part. I did like the part where she did that with Paul Heyman. It made sense. And she was like, Paul was just like, hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive. I'm scared, da da da. But another piece I did take from that promo that Becky did say was, whoever young person you got, Seth is going to take them down. And that's why I said, well, it has to maybe be Breaker. Maybe Bronson maybe will go by itself. I don't think it'll probably be another turn. They'll probably do it like a Randy Orton and maybe Batista S with those. Because if you remember back in the day, you had Batista. He won a couple titles, and also Randy did too. They both have been world champion once before. I know one time one was on SmackDown, one was on Raw, so they could do something like that. It could be a good match where maybe they're building. That's another reason why they're building Bronson Reed up to maybe go against Cody, because I got Cody holding for a long time. Now this has happened because I had Cody and Punk facing each other at Mania, or Punk facing Seth, but now Seth is hurt. I don't know what's going to happen. Now, like I say, if the rumors are true, if we are getting a heel Randy, can we get Randy and Cody to face each other at Mania? Yes, but if we do get it and we get a heel Randy, they'll probably have Randy win, because I think that will make him 15-time champ. I think it'll be 15 times. So I think it'll be 2 behind Cena and 1 behind Flair, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he might going to be 16 times. I don't know. I think it's going to be only 15 times, because I think he only won the title 14 times. From what I understand, me and Final Boss, we talked about his contract, and it was like, it's super quick. So he'll be coming up soon. Because I was thinking, like, when he resigned, he was going to probably win the title at least 1 or 2 times before he retired. Maybe get tied up with Flair, because we know how much respect Randy has for Flair. I think if they are going to do it, they probably will tie Randy with Flair. So if Randy is turning heel, I got Randy turning heel. What does this do for Paul? Because now Becky did do this whole promo on Paul Heyman, and now we're here with Paul Heyman. What is this going to do for Paul? Or is Paul just going to stay with young talent? Because, like I say, Becky did say, whatever young lion you're going to go with, my husband is going to destroy him. So maybe he might just stay with young clients from the until Seth comes back. So that's another thing too. I think if we're going to see this split between division between Reed and Breaker, it's just be mutual. Maybe they'll split up in the draft, especially the way Nick Otis has been lately. I can definitely see that happening. Maybe he'll say, "Hey, you guys have been causing so much trouble. I'm going to split you guys apart. You guys, you've been causing me trouble. So, Paul can't save you. I'm going to split you guys up." And maybe that's how you get one on SmackDown, one on Raw. I think Breaker's going to stay on Raw no matter what. Especially now Seth is hurt. especially now Roman's not around. They're going to need another star. And this is why I was saying that they need to start building new stars. Carmelo Hayes. I know Final Boss was telling me that there was rumors that Austin Theory is supposed to had joined this group, but now I don't think that will ever happen because the way Seth got injured, it wouldn't be. Will it make sense if they add another person to the vision? Maybe, but I don't think they need it now because I don't think since what happened with the turn, I don't see them making this group be back where it was. That promo from Seth, they was at a good spot. Now that maybe they did that so when they did the turn, it could be more shocking because it was for me. It was very shocking. I didn't see it coming at all. Don't get me wrong, because I was like, okay, I just the reason why I felt like that because I didn't feel like they was not where they should have been at. So by Paul backing them and he is their mouthpiece, will they make this story be where Paul can't control him? We already seen that before. I think mostly with Solo on them. I think a lot of people are going to start comparing this story where when Solo went by himself and he had Jacob, he had the Tonga twins, and it was sort of like that. Now, yes, Solo and them did beat up Paul and it was setting up the story just to bring back Roman and Paul to be back together and bring in Punk, and that's how we got the War Games match. But I don't think this is going to happen this time. I think Paul's just going to go with Breaker. When they split up and go their separate ways, you're going to get Paul and Breaker to be with each other, and I think that's what's going to set up a couple matches between Breaker and Seth. Maybe they could do a Breaker and Seth, and maybe Seth finds beats him next year, and maybe down the line. Because, like I say, they have switched up. As far as I know, Money in the Bank is one of the pay per views that is switched and is a different month. So, whatever pay per views we get, maybe they're going to do one where we get one of one of these big pay per views. Because I say. And I know this shocks a lot of people. I say one of the big matches for me is Money in the Bank. For me, that's just one of the PLEs. When you think about it, it's one of the biggest matches when you look at the whole totality of doing these matches. So that's one thing I do look at when you think about doing these matches with the PLEs and the how they're going to do it, especially next year. I'm really interested on how we do it, when they're going to do it, what how are we going to get these new PLEs now, how we're going to set these things up, which direction we're going to go, and things like that. So that's one thing we're going to do. When they do these matches, I cannot wait. I know everybody was saying that they they said, well, they were saying that they do like the whole story now. We got Saturday Night Live gonna be, I mean, not Saturday Night, Money Bank is gonna be at New Orleans, because we all know what happened with New Orleans. New Orleans was the match where we all didn't get the WrestleMania, because WrestleMania was supposed to have been at New Orleans. We didn't get that because of the switch up. They did it. We're going back to Vegas. So I understand why we're doing it now. My thing, like I say, what caught me off guard was we're doing it now, and we're doing the whole PLE now in New Orleans for Money in the Bank. So that's one major thing. Let's talk about the tag team title match, which I know the tag titles are something a lot of people didn't suspect the change. I did not see the tag team titles changing. My thing is this: when it comes to the Raw titles, because now Seth is hurt, we're definitely not going to get the Bronson Reed and Breaker to win these things. Now that might be a good thing because I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're going to hold all the titles like the Bloodline." Da, da, da. I know people's going to probably compare that to this, but I think yes, they would have probably been like that. My thing was my top concern was that that they couldn't they couldn't they couldn't they couldn't Jesus Christ. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get find a boss in here. I don't know what's going on with that thing. Hold on, yeah. I guess something going on with phone. But I think that they could have they could they couldn't they're gonna have to do that. I guess the reason why they did not make them tag matches. Huh? I guess they couldn't make the tag matches because of the of the I'm glad they didn't win the tag team titles because of the of the because of the Seth Rollins injury. So that I'm kind of glad they did go this direction. My thing is, I when it comes to the tag team titles, I hoping that they get these two to basically try to build this tag team into a good tag team. Hopefully, if not, I don't know what they're gonna do when we talk about tag teams. So we'll have to see at the end of the day of where we're gonna go when we talk about tag teams with this. So that it'll be real interesting. How do we go about this when we talk about tag teams? AJ Lee and AJ Styles. I don't know where we go with these two. Are they the right tag team? They could be. What could they? Who could be next for them? I don't know because they haven't built the Raw tag teams like they should be. Let's see. I think Mike said gotta be the New Day. Them boys, them they did my boys dirty. Most likely, it probably will be the New Day, Mike, because they might be the only guys I could think of. I think I did see one of the Royal Raiders in the Battle Royal. I think I think probably was both of them in there. Where is Alpha Academy been at? Those guys disappeared off the face of the earth. Especially when Chad Gable left. Where has the American um Akanda Mat group has been at? They could be a team that you could plug into the tag team division. So I think that's a team too, Mike, that you could put into the tag team division too. I forgot about that. I'm trying to think of some more people that's on Raw, but those might be the only ones I can think of off the top, Mike. You might think of some more. Austin is hurt. But yeah, it might be the New Day. I do agree with you on that one. Could be just a New Day again. Um, back once again. So, um, Final Boss, how you doing?
Hey,
But that's
um,
something that
yeah,
I'm interested in seeing
I
how we're
I'm
gonna build
here.
this Raw tag team now because we got the AJ Styles, Dragon Lee as the world champions. What could be next for them? How could they go? Building this Raw tag team because I feel like the SmackDown tag team division is set. They're good. We did not get a draft this year. I don't think we're going to get a draft. I guess we're done with it. They're just going to switch people over like they've been doing. which is okay. I mean, I'll take that. I do like the draft a little bit. I like the old school one when they used to put the balls in there. I wish they used to do the rumble like that again, where they put the balls in there. You used to pick your number. That was kind of like a nostalgia thing that they
Kind of
used to
shake
do.
things up
So
around
those are
here.
maybe like a couple things um we can do. Fun balls. I was over here talking about um the Becky um the Becky's
Um,
promo. Did you like it?
well, hopefully you can hear me because I feel like we're
Yeah, I
on like
can.
a delay. Oh, okay, okay, great. I did like it. I actually came during a good time, because I hear everything and I see everything, like Roman did. But yeah, it actually was one of my favorite Becky promos. I haven't seen her cut a promo really that good since the whole height of her and Lyra. Um, well, for those who don't know, she cut a promo on Paul Heyman and she called him a penguin because Paul Heyman offered her to be part of the division while Seth is out, and she could be the next big thing. And I was intrigued by that. I kind of like the idea because remember, back during the last match, between Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and CM Punk and AJ Lee, they showed some tension between Becky and Seth, and then we kind of had this weird thing on Raw where the backstage segments where he's looking at a watch, you don't know what that really means, and you have Becky kind of just rambling and babbling to herself about, well, really to him slash herself, about stuff she's fed up with, and he's not saying a single word, not one time. And I'm like, is it showing that he's zoned out, or is it showing that there's some dissension there? So there's a lot of pieces, to that, and I kind of would like the idea of, well, it's not just Seth is out because he's injured and they wrote him off a different rate. Like they wrote him off where he was turned on by the vision. So I kind of like the idea of her coming in with the vision and then really kind of playing back the man gimmick where, hey, even Paul Heyman said, you wasn't really the guy. I'm the guy. I'm the guy you should have been. I'm the man. And kind of bring that and have her lead the vision, and you have Seth come back, and they'll just be a complete train wreck. I kind of liked the idea, but no, we didn't get that. We got Becky Lynch, which I do like, took up for her husband, and said that, hey, Seth knew you were gonna turn on him. We just was waiting for when. So I kind of like that idea. I like the fact that he has someone speak on his behalf that he's out, but I really was wanting to see that aspect of her joining the vision and then her being the man and turn on Seth Rollins. Now, is it going to lead to a match? No. But it would just cause this weird dissension that I think would be kind of cool. Do you feel the same way, or are you just kind of done with that idea, Miami?
No, I was well. Basically, I was saying that I did like the promo. Me and you kind of had the same, assumption. I was saying that my whole thing was I did like that too. I did like the whole part where she did bring up the parts about Seth was just waiting. He was like, "What took you?" I
Mm-hmm.
think the key part I loved about the promo was she said, "What took you so long?" And I was telling everyone
Mm-hmm.
here before you came in is it buys into memory. Seth is supposed to be the architect. If anyone remembers, he's supposed to be the architect. He always goes to the
Yeah,
mastermind. He's always the
but
person
that
that plans out stuff.
but is he still that character? Because you're looking at like Shield character.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like I think that it's not that he's saying he's that character. He's always going to make us. He always alludes to that. Anytime he's in anything he's
uh,
doing, he's always kind of
uh,
pointed at
I
that.
mean,
You know,
I kind of feel. Well, I remember when he was, the architect, and I was doing his Shield days, but Seth
Mm-hmm.
went through different phases where he really didn't promote that. He was, the God damn it, he was the one that's kind of like Jesus. What kind of not a prophet or
Yeah,
something? Oh,
Messiah, Messiah.
yeah, the Messiah, and then he also
Mm-hmm.
was Seth freaking Rollins, Monday Night Rollins. Those characters didn't respect the architect anymore. That character was gone. So this character that he has now, it was a mix between the Messiah and that kind of goofy gimmick that he had thereafter. But this gimmick was more about him being the leader, being the locker room leader, being the remember the workhorse. They use that term with him a lot. That architect one, I don't think that character is I think that's been gone for a while. Um, so now, granted, they can, spin that when he comes back because you mentioned that Becky did say that, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that character was not a character that he portrayed during the vision.
Well, one of the
For
reasons
me,
why I said, well, one of the reasons I said that was because I don't know if you remember when they was doing a few of the feuds with him and Roman back when Roman was in the bloodline. He brought up that whole thing. Even when they ended, he was like you never. I'm always doing what I'm doing to you because you never see. I'm always planning things out. You ever see your error, your ways, and Seth always. To me, this
well,
is just me saying that he was always a step ahead of everyone. He even said it when the Vision came out and he screwed Punk. He said, "Hey, I'm always 10 steps ahead of you." Sort of like what you were saying about. It was like you saying, "Oh, you
well,
think you
wait a
Rock
minute
said."
now. Because yeah, exactly. The Rock said he's 20 steps ahead, so he's only 10, so he got 2 more steps to go. You got 10 more to go because the Rock said he's 20 steps ahead. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is a nice take. But I feel like that just kind of plays into them just wanting to have that whole once again feud between Roman and Seth. I don't think it has nothing to do with them carrying on that character. Now, can they do it, especially now that that turn has happened? Yes, they can. But at the same time, what is he going to do when he comes back? Because, you know, Ron Breaker and Reed, it's two of them. Of course, Heyman's the manager, but Seth doesn't have any allies like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how is that going to work? So, you already know what that story is going to be. It's going to be, he's going to be getting beat down by those two, and it's either going to be, who's gonna come to help Seth, and it'll probably be either Roman or maybe Jey Uso, or they can do a complete swerve, which I don't even know if they're gonna do it anymore because this is talking about like 2010s, early 2000s WWE. Because if we were doing that, then what they would have done is once he came back, he would have gotten beat down by Breaker and Reed, and then he would have said, "I'm always the architect or the mastermind, 10 steps ahead, or maybe 20 steps ahead, like my husband The Rock," and then have a double turn and have either Braun Breaker turn on Reed or Reed turn on Breaker.
Well,
That's
I
what
was
the old WWE would have done. You ain't getting that now. Hope you know.
Yeah, no, no, no. Well, I wouldn't even want that because now they broke up so early, final balls, and I'm gonna be real with you, is because I feel like they had the chance of making the group be big, but they didn't know how long Seth was gonna be out because of injury. Because the promo, like I say, he did it made me feel like, well, man,
Well,
we're back on track, we're back on making them good
I
sellers.
I
And
kind of like the idea of that double turn because let's say you have Breaker turn on Reed once Seth comes back, then it'll
mhm.
just be Seth and Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker is the star. Reed is just there. So I
well,
mean,
well,
I think that would be the better idea because then you'll have that tag team.
I think, and this is why I still wish the draft was around, or can either do it another way too, where they can say, well, your husband, your other husband, Adam Pearce, can say, hey, y'all been causing so much chaos that I'm finna put y'all, one of y'all on SmackDown, one of y'all on Raw. You know,
I don't like that. I
if
don't like that.
Paul tries to stop him, because I feel like
I don't like that. I don't like that.
if you get another turn, I think it's
Yeah,
already. I feel like the group is already not going to be talked about anyway in the next couple
yeah,
of years anyway. So it's already
correct.
gone. So you don't want to be
Right.
like, oh man, this was one of the worstest things they could have ever
But
done. So split them up, like, because they've
I
done
don't.
that a couple times too.
Yeah, but I don't like the idea of just using them as a draft to break them up because first, most of the time I did a draft anyway, they would put teams together. So
Mm-hmm.
you know that's what they were to do. Where hey, they're breaking up tag teams and whatnot, or stables, I should say. Um, it leaves the person out, just out, and we don't really. Oh, with the draft, okay. So what the hell are they gonna do now? There's no rivalry, there's nothing for them to do. They're gonna be on a new brand by themselves, and there's no story there. There's no rivalry. If you have a double turn, where the whole turn of it is, hey, I'm out because you kicked me out, and now I'm fighting you, and that's what Evolution did. Remember,
Yeah,
Evolution
yeah,
started with what? They turned on Randy, and then,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then what happened? Then we started seeing the seeds, so they want to turn on Batista. Then he turned on Batista. He kept saying,
Mm-hmm.
you got $1 million body and a 10-cent brain. And then
Mm-hmm.
what happened? And then what happened after Batista left? Then you had the whole feud between him and between Triple H and Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm. I think another way
So
you can do it too is you could probably make it be like, well, Paul can't control Breaker because it's already kind of the seasons are there a little bit too. I think they can go that way too if they wanted to.
Breaker or Reed?
No, Breaker.
Ah,
I mean say
okay.
Breaker. If I say Reed
No,
by
you
mistake.
did. But I always feel like, see, that's my thing is that I used to feel it's weird because I felt like when they had Seth Rollins
Mm-hmm.
that, well, which is not too long ago, I should say, but I felt like it was Breaker being the uncontrolled, he was the unhinged guy. He was the guy, he was the hound, right? Like he was the guy that, you kind of can control him, but he really listened to, Seth. But if you don't get those commands, he's just going to run through you. But now that Seth is gone and seeing the interaction on Monday, I feel like that character has kind of quietly dissipated. And now he's not that guy where, he's just unhinged. Like you saw him with the shades, with the title on, he made Adam Pearce say please, and then he handed the title, Paul, and Paul gave him the title. Like a real unhinged person went ahead and gave the title back, where he said, please, oh my God, I'm begging you, that they would have just pretty much took it and left, and it will be a whole story where he's running around with the title he's saying, our championship, whatever. So I feel like that character, now that Seth is gone, is going away. That's just my observation. I would feel the same, but that's how I feel. That's what I got from Monday.
Well, I
If
mean,
I talk
I got
for
that too because my main thing is I got that too. I did like your boy Adam Pearce, his whole
I love him.
thing, especially
I love him.
when he took Reed and Breaker out of the Rumble. The first thing I said was Jay's winning this battle royal. That's the first thing I said. I told someone that. Now I know a lot of people was upset because they wanted maybe Jimmy LA Knight, but my thing is now is we already know, and I've seen it. Even if they go for a swerve and Jay wins it, what are you going to do there? What you going to have maybe Jimmy be a little jealous of Jay because he's won his second world heavyweight title?
Well, well,
Have
it's,
him
well,
LA
it's,
maybe?
well, well, right now it's gonna be a kind of a big story because hey, he got eliminated. Jay cost
Yeah,
him
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
So now that whole rivalry, if he does win the championship, is gonna be right there. That's a story. I'm not a big fan of people saying LA Knight or Jimmy should get a push. For me, hey, I like LA Knight. I love his gimmick. To me, it's awesome. I like Jimmy because Jimmy for me is good on promos. Jay is more, better in the ring for me, my personal opinion. But those guys, are not. Those guys for me are not champion material for a major title. For a
That's what
United States
I was
Championship,
thinking too.
for IC Championship, yes. But the way we are right now, that will absolutely kill the company. Come on, go ahead and get in the goddamn lane, you stupid motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Anyway, sorry, that wasn't for you. I am driving home on a very, very bad commute. It's like Friday traffic on a fucking Thursday. It's absolutely ridiculous. Um,
Jesus
but
Christ.
yeah, it is. And I, it was so bad I couldn't get over those four lanes, so I had to go. I was on 495 going towards, not towards the way I'm supposed to go. I had to go in and find my way and make a U-turn and get back on 495, and then it was a mess. Um, but yeah, so those guys to me are not the guys you want to put for the title right now. Why? One, because of they feel like they're mid card, and two, because we don't have the star power for them to face somebody with that championship to make them the biggest star. We don't have it. We don't have it. And like I told you a couple of days ago, hey, Cody won the championship from John Cena, and I be forgetting that Cody is champion now with this run. With this run. So yeah, at least with the last run, when he finished his story, was it a good run? No, but I knew he was champion. It was clear. The story was finished. I knew he was champion. Now this run is so passive, and I feel like with Seth, because even when Seth had a title, it didn't feel like a big deal. It just felt like the big deal for me was the group. Where the group was starting to finally make some waves because the group was on a dry spell for a long time. It was finally starting to make some waves. And
I get that feeling with Solo's group right now. I like
well,
him.
yeah, it's starting to come up. So them having a title on, a Jimmy or LA Knight, if we don't have the stars for them to compete with to help them beat them bigger stars, I just don't. You have Cena leaving us in December. You have AJ Styles on his last run starting in January. You have Randy Orton on 2 more years. I believe it's the same now for Roman. He had like about 2 more years left. So, which is good for him. We got a little longer time than what we thought he was going to be because we thought he was going to lose him after he lost that damn championship, let's be honest. But, I mean, we don't have the star power for someone on a lower card to build that title. You have to put that on a top guy right now and then do it that way. Now, if they want to go ahead and put the title on a bigger star, maybe you're CM Punk, because he's probably one of the biggest draws right now on Raw is CM Punk. Otherwise, now that Seth is out, they could have him fight someone like a LA Knight or a Jimmy. But putting out someone like that's like putting it on like a Logan Paul. Potential is there, but hey, the potential is there. Hey,
Pretty good now. He been quiet.
But,
He been out of the picture lately.
well, he's doing other things right now. But the whole point of it is like it's not saying because he's good in the ring. Jay is good in the ring. Jimmy is good on the mic, and I like LA Knight's character. But those guys are not gonna put no damn substitutes. I'm sorry. No one's gonna pay $4,000 on a SmackDown to see goddamn LA Knight then defend that title against like Jey Uso. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. Same thing.
Well, I was saying earlier that
like people are gonna hate me.
No, I was saying I think people are gonna.
We have a lot of haters in here, but yeah. But yeah, we do
I
have
get
a lot of
that.
haters in here. But it is what it is. I mean, the truth hurts, but hey, sometimes you gotta live with it because that's where we are. They talked about how TKO has now been doubling the prices of tickets. People are okay. And for those of you who are haters and are disagree and say no, these are top guys, okay. But when they come to your city or to your town, go ahead, you pay that $4,000 to see LA Knight or Jimmy Uso to defend their championship. I'll wait because you won't. So because it's not a draw like that. Now could they get there? Maybe, but we have to have it on a higher person of the card for them to fight first and build them up. Now Von Breaker, and a lot of people say, hey, he's not ready yet. I agree, but I feel like the element of the interest of him being the champion while Seth is out is interesting.
Hey, to
It's
tell you the truth,
interesting.
he might be the first person that has held that new design and it actually look good.
Mm.
I'm just gonna be
Yeah,
honest. It does look good.
yeah, yeah, and that time, hopefully will come. A lot of people, I hear this a lot, are not too extravagant on Jay winning the Royal Rumble. Or
Yeah.
I shouldn't say, come on, it's not the Royal Rumble, it's the
Battle
Battle
Royal.
Royal, old
Uh-huh.
school Battle Royale,
Uh-huh.
for the chance to win the championship. A lot of people, are not excited about that. And this was a guy who was very over with the whole East. We were very excited at first to see him, possibly be champion. And then, we got it and it flopped. And now he's on, like you read to me earlier, the list of some of the worst moments of 2025. And now here we are. They're giving him a second chance, possibly, win the title, be in, back in the main card scene, which he really has been on the main card scene because he has the whole thing with Jimmy, and I feel like that has been a lot of TV time. He's definitely, a main card guy, but we give him a second chance for him to be possibly champion. And I mean, but yeah. So, but people are not happy for it. They're not excited for it. They don't want it no more. They don't want it.
I
So,
say that when I first got there. The booking is okay.
you know,
The
you,
booking has not
I'm
been
hearing it
great.
a lot. I'm hearing it. I feel like one thing I would be interested in, is want to make everybody happy because people want Jimmy to get a shot, right? Well, have Jay win it, have him face Jimmy for the title, have Jimmy win it
Oh,
off Jay. And they can have a big, if they play it right, you can have a good story with it between those two.
yeah, you got, and that's what I'm saying right now. The way they've been doing stories, I don't, especially now. I know last time it didn't go well, and I can only imagine what they're going to do this time because the way they've been telling stories, it has not been at that top
Uh,
tier for me.
I I felt that way, but after Monday, I don't know. I feel a lot better. I like the
Really?
idea. Yes, I like the idea of Jay costing Jimmy. I love the interaction we had with my secondary husband, my boo thing, because her husband is The Rock. But Adam Pearce with Paul Heyman backstage, I love that. I love that pivot we got from with Braun Breaker having the championship on with the glasses, holding it up, Chris asking for it back. I like that. I like the interaction that we got with Becky and Paul Heyman. I like the little I call it a vignette. I like the saying the Kabuki Warrior that. So after Monday, I don't know. I think there was a lot of good pieces on Monday. To be honest. Now
Yeah.
maybe my expectations are so low now that it's sad, kind of like hey, your taste done got real bad, your eyes hurt, like you see something that's like halfway decent, like either they're the best thing in the world. I mean, it's kind of the same thing for me.
Yeah.
I felt like Monday was a good show.
Well, see,
Yeah,
the only reason
story
I say
wise.
that is because I was like, well, if you're gonna make Jimmy, because I know everybody said in our chat was Jimmy Mike is gonna cause Jay the match,
Oh, I like that. I like that idea.
or either I think it's more gonna be probably Vision. They're probably gonna cause Jimmy the match. Probably more
Well,
Vision than Jay.
there's no point of bitching causing that because it don't matter because they're not getting a shot anyway. So that doesn't make sense. I don't know why they would cause it. They're not. It's not like one of already matched. So that doesn't make that. There's no point of that. But I like the idea. You know, if if Jimmy does cost Jay the championship, because then that'll be a great story. But then what? Now none of you guys are going for the championship. So now what?
Yeah,
Now what do we do?
yeah.
Because I doubt it'll give somebody a second chance.
Unless they add LA Knight to the mix too, because like I said earlier, LA Knight has had some dissension with Jay and Punk, so you got that too. So you
Yeah.
can't just leave that like not too far behind. You got to put that quality, that element in there too. That's just me just thinking about, just maybe saying, well, is that another thing they could do too? Because it's in Salt Lake, so I'm not suspecting anything big. Because one, it's in Salt Lake. Two, it's Saturday night main event. We still have Survivor Series. We kind of know what the War Games match for the men's side is. I don't know what the women's going to be because we haven't had no kind of
Well,
thought process, or they haven't
from
put that.
what was from what I had read is that if Seth hadn't have gotten injured,
Yeah.
the plan was to have at Mania was to have Seth, Rollins, and Punk again. Supposedly.
What you mean
Again.
Seth and Roman?
No, well, or it may have added Punk as well. I don't know. Do it just running back again. Probably.
Oh,
Because what I heard, yes, I heard it's gonna be Seth and well, no, I heard Punk's name, so it's gonna run back again. That was the plan. So yeah, and I don't know how at this time it probably would have, and what it probably would have done is remember, we had initially we had Paul turn on Roman for CM Punk, and then he turned on CM Punk for Seth. What they probably would have had, they would have had I don't think it. Well, I don't think it was the title, but I feel like they probably would have had, Paul turn on Seth and go back to Paul and go back to CM Punk this time. Yeah, I thought they would have did that, or he would have turned on Seth and go back to Roman.
well, I think that if he never got hurt, it was gonna be Roman and Punk. I mean Roman and Seth, and Punk was gonna probably maybe face Cody. But now if they're gonna turn Randy Hill, it'll probably be Randy and
What, you
Cody.
mean like a Civil War for Mania?
No. At WrestleMania night 1, it was gonna be Seth and Roman, and night 2 is gonna probably be Punk and Cody for his title. But now Randy's going heel. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Randy and Cody, and Randy might win the title from Cody. Because ain't Randy's like 14-time champion or 15? I know he's like 15, 14.
Yeah,
So
I believe he's 15 because he's one down with Cena.
Well, if he's 15, he's definitely winning it because he'll tie with Ric Flair, and he might won't win another. He might won't tie with John. He'll just probably try to tie with Flair because we all know how much Randy loves Flair. So maybe that's how they'll do it. But you were saying,
he does have 2 years left. He has 2 years left. So
which I was like, that flew by. It flew by so quick. I was thinking that he was gonna be here for a minute, but you was like, no.
Nope, 2 more years left.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
like, that went by quick.
yeah. There's 2 more left on that 5 years. The same thing, I believe, with Roman Reigns. So, unless they decide to, you know, resign again. But hey, everyone's gonna do a retirement tour. We believe that AJ Styles gonna do one starting in January after Cena's gone in December, and then we're probably gonna get one also from Chris Jericho. So yeah, everyone's
Yeah,
gonna do this retirement tour, and then by the time they're done, we'll have Randy do one, and then we'll have Roman do one.
man, I'm really gonna be watching highlights when Jericho comes. Man, I'm already on the verge of highlights.
Hey, well, you know what? I know Jericho has failed a lot. But man, I used to be a Jericho holic back in the day. Boy, I ain't gonna
Well,
lie.
back in
I
the
was
day,
a
yeah,
Jericho
but
holic.
now, oh
And
my
even when he went to other promotions, when he was the Painmaker, when he had the black and the little hat on, I love that. Remember him and Omega was one of my favorite damn matches
mm,
ever, ever. It was absolutely nuts. So, I mean, I like that. When he first came to AEW, I was ecstatic. Because he just came because, remember, last time we really seen him was he was doing stuff on promotions. He had that great Omega match. It was extreme as hell. We got him throwing at the birds to the camera and everything. It was crazy. Fighting the crowd. I mean, he looked great. The Playmaker gimmick was good for him. It was a change. It was a mixture of Chris Jericho mixed with the I I total rock and roller.
yeah, yeah, I
It
remember that.
was a mixture. It was a mixture of that. That's what it was. So him being a for bad guy. So when he first came to AEW, I was really excited, and then things kind of turned the way it did. It just so, and then, things came out about him as well, we heard, but, had things come up about people. But, just the run was just so bad. But, so if you would have did this run, or what we think is going to be a run, if you would have did this back when he was a Painmaker, I would have loved it. I think it would have been definitely one of the most memorable things we would have remembered, but did it over here, WWE. I'm not going to lie. Or maybe they'll come back and bring back the Cold Breaker or something, and it'll be good.
Oh, Lord, Jesus Christ.
I like the Cold Breaker. I like to break the walls now.
But
I'm back
I don't think kids don't know what the heck
because
a Cobra is these days.
they got to because the kids like Liv Morgan, don't they? Well, still then Cold Breaker the whole damn match,
Well, that's a
right?
move. They know it as a move. They don't know it as it was a
Well,
gimmick.
but those who don't know that's Chris. She doing the Chris Jericho all goddamn match. That's what she do most of the match. Doing the Cold Breaker. And then
Yeah,
it always changed the goddamn name of the damn thing. She called it Cole the same damn move. Hey,
man.
at least they changed it from the damn diamond cutter to the Cody cutter and all this and the RKO. I mean, come on.
What's your
Like,
what's
it's
your
a different name.
what's your thoughts on if Randy turns heel? You think we want to see something like that?
I mean, I like Randy as a heel. He's a good face to me, but I like him as a heel. But I like Randy being a Viper. He can't be legend killer anymore because he's already a legend. He's old now. So,
Well,
when he brings back more,
well, I want
yeah.
the heel legend killer
Well,
vibe.
they can't bring back legend killer on him because he's a legend now. He has to kill himself.
No, no,
Can't do
not
it
legend killer,
now.
but I'm saying like the same type of vibe.
Oh yeah,
No,
we
no,
can
no,
do
no.
the vibe. They
I just
can't do
want the
legend killer
vibe
no more. Oh,
of him.
okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the whole thing didn't work because he was a young guy trying to
Yeah,
kill
yeah,
off the
yeah.
legends, but now he's a legend now, so if he'll kill himself off, then I don't know. Don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, I like the idea. Or unless they do the thing where he's not retiring just yet, he cares about to retire. He'll get on AJ again and then all that stuff. But I don't know. Get on Punk, maybe Punk is totally on his last run. So, which man, we're gonna be in bad shape when we lose Cena, Punk, Randy, and Seth and Roman. We're gonna be in bad shape, boy. Man, I might start watching after this. Man.
Yes, I'm on that verse now because they ain't it now, I'm like, man, this booking is
Nah,
not.
I think Monday was a pretty solid episode storytelling wise, especially for something like a main event. You know, for a Saturday night main event. You know, that's a cable TV special. That's not PLE now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so I think with that being, well, maybe the whole idea is really, yes, for main event, but also for Survivor Series right around the corner coming up next month. So it's kind of build for both, but 2 for 1. But yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I did hear before I got lost on the road here. That I did. That you said something about AI was writing a story. Well, you have to remember. Well, we're in 2025, and AI is a thing.
Yeah.
And if it is writing a story, you have to remember, like, hey, at some point, people are gonna run out of fucking ideas, man. They are.
But
Right on top.
I
So,
think well that's okay. I know because we get writer's block and stuff like that, but I still feel like that's taking creativity from someone's
well,
idea.
yeah, but if they're using that, if they're using that,
Yeah,
allegedly,
because there's
if,
from what I was told, it says
allegedly,
they're doing it for data. It's not the storage; they're
uh,
just using it for data.
well, if they are doing that, then that means it's because they are writer's block and they were looking for writers for a while for the movies. They said that. So it's not like someone's losing their damn job or someone saying, hey, I have no creative freedom. We ran out of ideas. We don't have the ideas of the stories, and they were looking for a writer. And the writers that were they hired, which we found out, don't have no experience in writers anyway, like they have in the past. For I'm not saying what they got now, but there's ones in the past, that didn't have experience anyway. That all came out. They were hiring people. They were hiring for shit. So I mean, one of them, I think it was 2 people who mentioned that they didn't have any experience. So I mean, do you think because of that regard? Yes, I get it. Um, and you have to remember, man, WWE it has no off season, and also, a lot of our favorite series of shows and episodes. Some are long-standing series and shows, but they all eventually come to an end. WWE doesn't come to an end. It's all forever. Think about that. Think about your favorite show that's no longer around. Heck, it's going on forever. I can name one right now and laugh at me. Moesha, the Brandy. I love that show. And when it ended, it was a cliffhanger. Well, there's a lot of things going on. You have Moesha was sick. There was things on, the loss of one of the other stars, things like that. Ended with them finding a pregnancy test in a trash can. We don't know who was pregnant.
Yeah.
That was the end of the. But imagine if it, yeah, but imagine it was still going on. Same thing, with other shows. Yeah, we see reboots of other shows. Like we see a reboot of King of the Hill recently. We saw the reboot of really a spin-off show of SpongeBob because it's Pat like a Star Show. We saw the spin-off of iCarly with Sam and Cat and those things that I used to watch. I don't watch TV no more. But, we've seen spin-offs of shows and we've seen things end. I mean, the name Boy Meets World. That show won awards. Had to end. Smart Guy. Had to end. Wow, I'm really being old now. Sister, which I didn't like. Sabrina Teenage Witch. Like, that spin off to Sabrina animated series. I used to love that. Oh, Proud Family is back. They did a reboot of it. They rebooted the House of Pain. They not the not the Mark Hamill. Talking about Tyler Perry stuff. Um, but yeah, because it has to end at some point for those shows. Actors start to age, stories don't make sense anymore, things like that. It's not the same for WWE. There's no all season, there's no series end. So there's going to be a time where, hey, we're just looking at a blank wall because we don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pieces to that. It's a sport, but it's entertainment. So
I did read something before we wind down here. I read something about a Nikki Bella, your girl, maybe being a heel character. What's your thoughts on that, Final Boss?
I mean, I can see it happening because if she's gonna turn on Stephanie, I can definitely see that because remember what she told her, even if she said, "Hey, I got your back," and you got Stephanie Valkyrie saying, "Thank you," and you have WWE posted on Twitter with the handshake partnership between Stephanie and Nikki. I would see eventually, they'll be a great tag team. They'll team up, they'll be friends, and then you'll have Nikki turn on Stephanie for the title. Because one thing she did say is, hey, one thing about that championship is you're gonna have this target on your back. And I was had somebody there for me when I was champion. So the whole thing is she'll start getting that itch that she wants to scratch. That's her being champion again, and it's a turn on Bakir. Or Bakir, like how Red Cole says it. So I can see that happening. Now, I did read that there's a possibility that Stephanie is injured, so that kind of dampers the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true or not. I did read that somewhere. But yeah, I can see her turning heel off that. And hey, I like Nikki Bella. Hey, Nikki has been a heel before. We've seen her be a heel when she was Party Authority. Then her turn on Bree. We've seen that. We've seen her as babyface as well. We've seen her have a run with Cody, who's dashing Cody Rhodes. We've seen her have Twin Magic. So we've seen her in different elements in her, and I like them all. I just love Nikki just because it's fearless. I love fearless Nikki. So yeah, I would have liked to see her come out for John Cena and do something stupid, but I guess not gonna get that. So that's a goddamn bummer. I guess Cena said in his contract when his last one, keep her far the hell away from me. But which is smart. It's smart. Because I would have did it too. Speaking John Cena can tell it whatever he wants to do. But yeah, I can see that based on what we saw on Monday with the interaction between her and Stephanie, and I'll be looking forward, to seeing that. Do people want to see a Nikki Bella title run much as I do? Probably not. A lot of people don't like Nikki Bella like that, but I do, and I want to see her, at least have one more run with the championship. It doesn't be long. It doesn't be long. It can go on for a couple of months, and then it is what it is. But I think it'd be great for her because she hasn't won this title. She's won the Diva Championship, not this championship. So I feel like that would be good for her to have. But I don't know if you feel the same or not.
No,
go ahead and touch on that.
If this is her, because I'm thinking that this might could be her last run too. Because we'll speak about people.
Yeah, it is. Probably is.
I think she's one of those people that you can, especially if this thing is true about Stephanie being maybe injured. You can, like I say, they hold it for 51 days. You can maybe have her hold it for a little while and have someone win it. I did read somewhere that I've seen a lot of reports that Liv is coming back soon. I'm pretty sure maybe at
yeah.
maybe
I thought it'd be around November, but yeah.
So we'll see. Especially, like I say, we got to see with the way they're turning these storylines, and a lot of one thing I am hating, we're getting a lot of injuries. I'm not gonna say Naomi.
We're not gonna go back into this again with you, Miami. But let's pull the showdown. I already know. Gonna say, hey, we need more house shows.
No, I'm not saying that about the show. They need to do something Or they need to build. Well, it's not even the shows no more. It's about building new stars. I think that's the point now. We got to build some people. I have heard a lot of people saying something about Carmelo Hayes. We have heard people like you saying you don't feel like LA Knight is the guy, but a lot of people have said let's at least give LA Knight a run because we have seen back in the day, even when The Rock and Triple H was like the guys, we still had the Hurricane. Come out to be a good star. We've seen people like Kane. I don't put King as that main roster guy. I keep him as a mid card guy. I know that probably comes as a shock to people.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't look at King as
Kane. Wait a minute. So you want to say Kane is a mid card guy, but Hurricane Hell is a top guy?
No.
The Hurricane?
I was saying no that they no. I was saying he's a mid carder too. I was saying you have
Oh.
those mid carders that had like the spotlight. I'm not saying that they need to build new stars. That's my whole point. Is we got to get some people. Now I know Austin Theory is hurt. I don't know when he's coming back. I don't know where's Bianca at.
The report was is that if Austin Theory wasn't hurt, he was going to join the division.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
that.
We haven't seen Naya. She's disappeared for a while because we have Tiffany facing
Thank God.
Who?
Thank God. No need more Nia Jax around.
Well, we got her facing Jillian. I guess Jay's hurt. Bianca's hurt. Liv is still hurt. I don't know where AJ Lee is at because she's been missing for a while. So
they came out again. We need to close it out because I can't yell at my dad. But yeah, it came out that AJ Lee said that she's on her book tour, so she'll be back.
Okay.
Done with her book tour.
He
said it. So.
I think my last close.
A lot of people run around. So they asked her where the hell she was because they thought she was injured. She goes, "No, not injured. I'm on a book tour."
That's the same thing too. I think my last argument, my last closing statement is: let's try to build new stars. I know we're not doing these stories right. At least try to make them make sense. It'll be really interesting to see how we're going to come into Survivor Series. Are we going to start building to WrestleMania? I don't think so because the way things been going, I don't see it happening. But if they do a turnaround, we start building from there to all the way to WrestleMania. Finally, we will get some good wrestling and some good content because right now, Final Boss, I'm at a point where if it doesn't get better, I'm going to be watching highlights. That's just my last. But you got any?
Okay. Well, you're gonna be doing what I did during the pandemic. So.
What's second?
It's going in and out. What were you saying, Miami?
No, I was saying. If you have any last thoughts about the Jay and Punk thing? Because I know you didn't have time to speak about it, or you don't want to.
No, I think we hit on it a lot. We hit on it for like 30 minutes. I don't think nothing else needs to be said. I think if it was smart, we'll have Punk win. But I think if they wanted to play the story between Jay and Jimmy, it's either, hey, we have Jimmy win, and then we have the whole thing between him and Jimmy, or we just have Jimmy cost Jay. I feel like Jimmy's going to cost Jay, and we'll have Punk as the champion. So that's it.
Well, we'll see. Thank you guys. We got 216 and online with us. Thank you guys for joining us in this episode of Talk It Up. We'll see you guys next week. We do these things weekly. Thanks, Final Boss, for stopping by on your way home. Make sure you give her a follow on X. That's Final Boss Baby with 2 B's, 1 Y, CFO, as you see at the bottom of the screen.
There we go.
Miami the Great, 645. Or you can follow the Island of DWE. I don't know. We're going to do a main event. Are we going to do a main event live space? Live event for main event, Final Boss?
That's to be determined. To be determined. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll see. You go ahead, give us a follow. That's the only way you will find out. Please subscribe to our YouTube. We're at like 380 watch hours. We got to get to 4,000 before we get to the super
Oh
chat.
Lord.
Yes, we
Oh
got.
Lord.
Hey, I know people are really waiting for us to get the super chat, so we're working hard on that. But the only way we can do that, guys, if you have to share the word with your friends, your family, and let them know about Talk It Up. How do you do that? You tell them to go to YouTube, type in Talk It Up Wrestling, put it in the search bar, and you will see our beautiful gold coin. Some of our videos that come up right after this video, I will drop some shorts for me and Final Balls for her coming through. So get ready for those. I'll try to get on that. We have a lot of videos on there already, shorts already on there. Like, subscribe. We've been getting a lot of likes from you guys, a lot of subscribing from you guys, a lot of views from you guys. So thank you guys for supporting us. And just because you support us, go to our sponsor Dubby. Go to their website as you see down below. Make sure you type in Talk It Up Wrestling. You get 10% off on anything they have online. They have gummies, they have drinks, they have milk, they have everything you can think of when it comes to energy. It gives you great energy, different flavors. It does not make you be tired once after you get done working. So you guys need to check it out. Everybody over there, thank you, Final Boss, for stopping by. And thank you guys, everyone who's stopping in. We'll catch you guys next week on Talk It Up. And we'll catch everyone again. Hopefully we have some more great wrestling to talk about. Other than that,
Bye.
bye.
Oh.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.